Welcome to Shortys SuperCoach and welcome to my press conference coming from you in my car. I'm normally in my car, but this time I'm actually driving home from Ballarat, so a bit of a late one in the office tonight, but the show must roll on. It's been a busy week, that's for sure. I get a couple of days off now, which is nice. It's a bit of a midweek press conference here, but look, it'll be probably somewhat short and sharp, and obviously don't have the laptop in front of me, which I like to do. But yeah, scored 2,205, top 25% if I recall correctly. Moved down a couple of thousand spots, which wasn't totally unexpected, I must say. Had a bit of stroke of luck, Ben Keys was a late in, so that earned me 60 points. I didn't expect to get otherwise, but perhaps the other side of that, Deledio was out at half time, which probably cost me 60 points. He was on 67 at half time, so that hurts. Still waiting to get clarification on how bad his injury is. I know he's been cleared of serious injury, but you'd have to think it's unlikely he would play this week, which could leave us with a tough decision of, if he's out for a week, do you just pull the trigger? Is he too good to refuse and trade off if he's going to be back soon? Because there aren't a stack of super reliable forward options, I must say, like really reliable. So just going through my side anyway, and going through off the top of my head, the back line was reasonable. Shaw, Simpson, not too bad, but largely, it wasn't setting the world on fire by any means. So probably some room for improvement. I thought the midfield was pretty good. Of course, Keys was out, but otherwise, certainly from memory, it was reasonable. The ruck department, you take it. Goldstein, he's not playing great, but he's such a good scorer and such a good player that he just still gets numbers. So, 93 points there. He's out of whack, he's out of touch, but North keep playing him. So, that's enough for us to be convinced that he's not too bad, because otherwise they would be resting him. I guess it's perhaps positive on our front that North Melbourne's season hangs in the balance, so they probably can't afford to not have him there even at 80%, but he's still scoring 90 plus, so I'll take that. Forward line was probably the downfall, I must say. Martin was amazing, and Montagna was reasonable too, but Deledio, of course, is 67, gone off at half time. Franklin was not too flash. Hall was relatively average, and yeah, Jaden Hunt was the other guy now. I think he'll make way for Zorko. The stars align there. Zorko's dropped a little bit, in great form. Hunt went up a little bit too. That's a reasonable example of where I was 50-50 on taking the points or the money. Just the way it panned out, I felt like I could probably afford to play Hunt one more week and wasn't sure what was really going to happen price-wise. In hindsight, probably could have taken the points. I would have got an extra 70 odd points there, but probably, earned myself about 20 or 30,000, I think. So they're the little wins, but that's a real example of probably where the points may have been a better option, but that's just how it rolls. I mean, I'll get him in this week. I'm pretty happy with how it all stands, but still got that same problem, not a stack of guys on the bench. Of course, Reid came in, but he was awful, and find it hard to see him keep his spot. Hunt will get the trade off, and then otherwise, Collins has probably reached his peak, probably in desperate need of bumping up a little bit extra meat in that back line. I think I can pretty much rely on the others. I'm content with those guys, but Rich and Birchall just lack ceiling and lack consistency, so that combination is very bad, because you tend to get their good scores are anywhere from 85 to 100, and then they throw in the poorer ones of a 60 or 70, which I can't have that. I think you take it at D6, but when it's your D5 and you don't have a Doherty and you don't have blah blah blah, I think it's time that I bring in a Rance or someone. I'll have a bit of a look at it, but that's my team anyway. I obviously don't have the leagues in front of me. I think it's all well and gone, guys. I'm pretty sure I'm bundled out of that SuperCoach HQ league, which has probably been representative of what has been a subpar round. It hasn't, or year I should say. It's been okay, and I've still got time to really build up and work to a top 10,000 position, but I think this week. Hopefully Liver returns and we can have a bit more settled lineup in the midfield, and maybe a bit of bench coverage if Keys can hold his spot. Maybe, you never know what your luck might be, get a bit of coverage in the back line, midfield as well. You never know, but it's that time of year when everyone should have 22 premiums, and you can really, you know, deploy premium versus premium and say, gee, who is better here, who's, you know, really got the best premiums. Often you can be winning or losing by how good your mid-price are or your rookie player and things like that, but now everyone's got an equally good team as they would expect, but not everyone has 22 of the very best. Some would have blokes like Rich or Birchall, you know, others will have guys in the midfield that others deem to not be genuine premium. So, you know, we'll just see how that pans out. So that's enough from me. I'll be back pretty soon for the weekend preview. I'll look to do that pretty shortly, and this one of course will be up quite late at night. I'll hopefully have it on the website mid-afternoon on the Thursday. That's just the way it goes. Hopefully have a nice little house up here in Ballarat soon enough, and we can get a bit of routine, because at the moment I'm a bit like Daniel Rich. I've got no ceiling over me and no consistency in my videos, so we'll see how we go. But that's enough from Shorty. Bit of a short and sharp one this week. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back for the weekend preview. I'll look forward to your thoughts and comments, and we'll chat soon.